Reporting live with Channel 13, I'm Coral Davids. Today's top news story is the Nuremberg trials. Now we go to Jhasmyn O'Connor live in front of the courthouse with more information.
The Nuremberg trials are currently taking place here in Germany. These trials are also known as the subsequent Nuremberg proceedings. These trials were created so that Germany will face justice for the Holocaust. 24 high-ranking Nazi officers and military officials are being charged for accusations such as war crimes and charges against humanity.
Thank you, Jhasmyn, for updating us on the Nuremberg trials. Today, we will take a look back at what led up to these trials, with never-before-seen interviews and live updates about the trials throughout the day. Now let's take a look at the never-before-seen interview with Adolf Hitler.
So, Hitler, what was your childhood like?
I was born in a small Austrian village of Barunia Inn, just across the border from German Bavaria. As a boy, my nickname was Adi. My father was busy working most of the time and also spent a lot of time on his main hobby, keeping bees.
Wow, so now that you were on your own, what did you decide to do?
Well, before my mother died, I believed that I was capable of being an artist, until I was turned down, rejected, failed. Once on my own, I was homeless in Vinny for a while until I entered World War I. There I felt I was serving a purpose and was needed. Throughout most of the war, I had a great luck avoiding life-threatening injury and escaped death many times. I was a dispatch runner. I took messages back and forth from the common staff in the rear of the fighting until units near the battlefield. I was always eager and brave. I never complained much about the poor conditions we were held in, unlike fellow soldiers. During the Battle of the Somme, my luck ran out, and I was injured in the leg. Following my recovery, I was sightseeing in Berlin. Then I was assigned to light duty in Munich.
So, after the war ended with German defeat, what did you do?
I joined the German Works Party, and then after the Nazi Party was created, I became a part of that, and I took place as the leader.
So, Mr. Hitler, once you were a dictator, you invaded Poland. Why?
One day, under the protection of the Polish army, Jews attacked a very small German town and brutally killed 5,500 Jews. This was known as Baumsburg Bloody Sunday. Poland wanted war with Germany and even came in and killed the innocent German nationalists. They kept coming and coming, so we decided to invade Poland. September 1st, 1939, which was the act that started World War II.
How did you invade Poland?
Well, first off, France and England declared war against Germany on September 3rd, but neither country was prepared to fight and would not.
Let's talk about what you planned for the Jews. What did you want?
I wanted them to get away, to clean out Germany from all of the Jews.
Adolf, where did you move these people?
I put them in camps all around, such as Bizek concentration camp in Poland.
What happens in these camps?
Well, it depends on which camp you go to. At Bizek, it's an extermination camp. We opened that one November 1st, 1941.
What about Auschwitz-Birkenau? This camp was in Poland as well near Krakow.
That was a labor camp and also extermination.
Is it true that this camp is where the largest number of deaths occur?
It is. We have our numbers up to 1,100,000 deaths so far.
Now the camp you brought up before, Belzec. What about that one?
It was one of our smaller camps. The number of casualties is only 600,000 people.
Wow.
I need to boost that up.
Wow, on your largest camp, Auschwitz-Birkenau, you must have had someone running it that you really trust.
Yes, his name is Rudolf Hess. He is known as my right-hand man.
How do you know him?
He came to me when I first began the party. He was the 16th person to join the NSGWP.
Oh, what other roles has he done for you, and what exactly did he do at the camp?
At the camp, he had initially concentrated on killing Red Army prisoners of war. He is now currently at the camp now killing off the Jews. Before the camp opened, Hess helped with the beer hall pursuits in 1923.
Where's Rudolf Hess now?
He has betrayed me. He flew to England to make peace with trade. His plane crashed in Scotland and he was taken as prisoner.
Wow, it seems like we're out of time, but thank you, Hitler, for joining us.
I smell it.
Hitler's body was found in a German bunker. It is believed that he committed suicide. Now let's see how it all started, with the bombing of Pearl Harbor.
The bombing of Pearl Harbor was planned by Isoroku Yamamoto. Our sources say the reason behind the attack was to conquer most of the Pacific and Southeast Asia to neutralize the U.S. Pacific fleets before they could rise to the fight against them. This consists of 2 bomb waves. A total of 353 planes were used. The battle was a total of 110 minutes long.
Maddie, can you tell us who Isoroku Yamamoto is?
He was an admiral that graduated from Japanese Naval Academy. He fought in the Battle of Tsushima, where he lost 2 fingers on his left hand. In 1936, Yamamoto was made Vice Minister of Japanese Navy.
Now we go to Maddie to take a look at the D-Day invasion that took place June 6, 1944.
D-Day was also known as Operation Overlord, codenamed Neptune. It took place on France's northwest coast, which was known as the largest military landing in history. The purpose was for World War II allies to open up a second front in the war against Nazi Germans and to liberate Western Europe from the Nazi grips. The Allies believed that if Hitler could be forced to fight the war on 2 fronts, he could be more easily defeated. Led across by Dwight D. Eisenhower, 3 million troops crossed the English Channel from England to Normandy and occupied France. Although thousands of lives were lost, they saved millions more by accomplishing their invasion.
Always Coca-Cola.
We have many other battles to cover, but let us check back in with Jhasmyn to see if she has any other updates for us.
At 6 a.m., the defendants were awakened, fed oatmeal and coffee, shaved, and issued for court clothing, uniforms without insignias for soldiers, and suits and ties for the civilians. At 9 a.m., they will be brought through a covered walkway from the prison to an elevator that opens onto the prisoner's dock in the courtroom, where they all will take their place on a wooden bench in order listed on the indictment.
Now we go to the Battle of the Bulge.
The Battle of the Bulge ended January 28, 1945. This battle was a result of Blitzkrieg, ordered by Hitler. Hitler's goal was to split the Allied forces and make the defense much weaker. The Allied forces still fought valiantly and ended up holding off the attack of more than 250,000 German soldiers.
With more news on different battles, we now go to the Battle of Stalin.
The Battle of Stalin was a major defense used by the Russians to defend the city of Stalingrad against the Nazis. This was a very violent and bloody battle that resulted in deaths of thousands of troops on each side. The overall amount of casualties of both soldiers and citizens was approximately 2 million people. This is known as one of the most violent battles of all time.
Now let's watch the never-before-seen interview with Stalin.
So, Mr. Stalin, how was your time in Siberia while you were exiled?
What do you think? It was cold and snowy.
Why did you change your name to Man of Steel?
I had to change my name, identity. I had to change my identity since I was a criminal.
But why Man of Steel?
I survived hell and came back.
Why did you kill so many of your own people?
They disagreed with me.
So, just because they disagreed with you, you killed them?
Yeah, pretty much.
Why did you turn neighbors against each other?
I put awards for the truth.
The truth about what?
My enemies.
And what did you do with the people you didn't kill?
I didn't do anything to them. They volunteered to go work at camps.
What kind of camps?
The kind that helps our country grow. The kind that strengthens the people mentally and physically.
A source tells me that these people are forced to work at these camps.
Well, your source is lying. He just been recruited to work the fields. I'll be there to welcome him to hell. I mean, he's lying.
Always Coca-Cola.
Now we take a look at the Battle of Iwo Jima.
Iwo Jima actually means Sulphur Island. The Battle of Iwo Jima was considered to have great tactical importance. The first day landing February 19, 1945, the Americans cut the island into two by the end of the day. This island was located in the Pacific. It was just over 4.5 miles long and 2.5 miles wide.
Now let's look at the Battle of Okinawa.
The Battle of Okinawa was the last and the biggest Pacific Island battles of World War II. The commanding generals on both sides died in action. The United States ground forces had 7,374 killed, 31,807 wounded, and 239 missing in action that we know of.
Thank you, Maddie. Now let's check back in with Jhasmyn for an update on the Nuremberg trials.
At 9:30 a.m., the court doors will be open to 250 journalists. A half an hour later, the 8 judges will enter and the IMT convenes for the first time.
Thank you for bringing us to the end of what led up to be the Nuremberg trials. Let's now take a look at the never-before-seen interview with Winston Churchill.
What made you so passionate in your stand against Hitler and the Nazis?
I've always said you have enemies. Good, that means you stood up for something sometimes in your life. What Hitler was doing was wrong, and I could not sleep at night knowing I was sitting back doing nothing. I had to step up and give him some sort of fight.
Y'all seem very passionate about that. How did you and President Roosevelt work together in this situation?
Well, it was critical that we joined together in efforts to deal with Axis power. We had a very nice working relationship, and we were very close friends. We just worked hard and kept our eyes on the prize.
Very nice. How did you maintain such a difficult alliance with the Soviet Union?
We focused on our main goal to defeat Hitler's Germans and put all our differences aside.
How did you manage to become so popular?
Well, I wrote a book about my campaigns and grew in popularity as a war leader.
So I've heard. Not only are you a great leader, you are also a great artist.
I put it aside and focused more on politics and military tactics.
Oh, well, thank you for your time.
We will recap what has happened throughout the day here along with any other updated information on our expanded coverage starting at 5. This is Coral Davids for Channel 13 Action News.